For most people, housing is the biggest expense they face each month, and it's often the main reason they have a hard time managing their money. Whether you're paying rent or a mortgage, the cost of keeping a roof over your head can take up such a large part of your income that there's barely anything left for saving, investing, or working toward other financial goals. Let's break down why housing is so costly and explore some practical ways people are finding to lower these expenses. Housing costs in 2024 are becoming an increasingly heavy burden for both homeowners and renters, impacting financial stability and making it harder for many people to afford other essentials. For homeowners, the average monthly cost of a mortgage, including property taxes, homeowners insurance, and HOA fees, has climbed to around $2,229. However, this figure doesn't tell the full story. Homeownership comes with additional responsibilities such as maintenance and unexpected repairs, which can quickly add up. For instance, replacing a roof or upgrading an outdated HVAC system can cost several $1,000s. These expenses aren't optional, and they're often unavoidable, adding financial stress to households already stretched thin. Rising interest rates and soaring home prices further compound the issue, creating significant challenges for first-time homebuyers trying to enter the market and current homeowners attempting to keep up with their financial obligations. Renters face similar difficulties. While the median rent at $2,033 per month is slightly less than the cost of owning a home, renters miss out on the long-term financial benefits of building equity. In addition to their rent payments, renters are responsible for paying utilities, internet, and other living expenses, which can easily push their monthly housing costs beyond $2,000. This financial strain is worsened by the lack of stability that often comes with renting, as landlords can increase rent or terminate leases, forcing tenants to navigate an increasingly expensive rental market. The general rule of thumb is that households should spend no more than 30% of their income on housing to maintain a balanced budget. However, in many urban areas, such as San Francisco, New York City, and Los Angeles, this guideline is far from reality. In these high-cost cities, housing expenses often consume 50% or more of people's take-home pay. This leaves very little money for other basic needs like food, transportation, healthcare, and childcare. For families, these additional costs are often unavoidable, putting further strain on their budgets. And for many, saving for emergencies, investing for the future, or planning for major life events becomes nearly impossible. This growing financial pressure has broader implications for society. People are being forced to make difficult choices, skipping meals to pay rent, delaying healthcare, or giving up opportunities to save for retirement or their children's education. The lack of affordable housing options can also lead to increased housing insecurity, with more people at risk of eviction, foreclosure, or homelessness. Ultimately, whether renting or owning, the high cost of housing is leaving millions of households with little room to breathe financially. The combination of rising costs, stagnant wages, and limited affordable options creates a cycle that is difficult to break. This is not just a problem for individuals or families. It is a systemic issue that affects communities, businesses, and the economy as a whole. Without significant changes in housing policy or economic conditions, this crisis is likely to continue impacting the financial well-being of households across the country. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful and want more content like this, comment more below. Let's keep going. The cost of housing is higher than ever, and several factors play a role in why so many people are struggling to keep up. Increasing home prices and interest rates. One of the biggest reasons housing is so expensive is that home prices have been steadily rising. At the same time, interest rates on mortgages have gone up, which means people are paying much more each month for their homes. Even if someone qualifies for a loan, higher interest rates make it harder to afford the house they want because the monthly payments are significantly larger. Hidden costs of homeownership. Buying a house isn't just about the monthly mortgage payment. There are many other costs that homeowners have to deal with. For example, property taxes, homeowners insurance, and regular upkeep can add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the annual cost of owning a home. Then there are unexpected expenses like fixing a broken roof or replacing an old heating system, which can cost thousands of dollars at once. These additional costs often catch people off guard and make homeownership much more expensive than it seems. Lifestyle pressure and housing choices. Another reason housing costs are so high is the pressure many people feel to live in bigger, fancier homes or trendy neighborhoods. There's often a desire to keep up with the Joneses, even if it means stretching their budget to the limit. People might choose homes that are larger or in areas with more status, even when they can't really afford it. This overspending can lead to financial stress as they struggle to cover all their bills and save money at the same time. These factors, rising prices, unexpected costs, and lifestyle pressures, combine to make housing one of the largest financial challenges for many families today. For some, these costs eat up so much of their income that they have little left for other necessities like food, transportation, or healthcare. Understanding these issues is the first step toward finding ways to manage housing costs and make better financial decisions. High housing costs can have a serious impact on people's financial well-being and overall quality of life. When most of your income goes toward paying for your home, it leaves very little money for other important things. Saving for emergencies, putting money away for retirement, or even enjoying simple pleasures like dining out or taking a short trip can feel out of reach. This often forces people to live paycheck to paycheck with no financial cushion to fall back on if something unexpected happens, like a medical bill or car repair. To cover these extra expenses, many rely on credit cards or personal loans, which can quickly lead to debt. Once someone is stuck in this cycle of borrowing, it becomes incredibly hard to get out because interest payments add another layer of financial strain. Beyond the numbers, high housing costs can take a toll on mental health. Constantly worrying about money creates stress and anxiety, which can affect other areas of life, like relationships and physical health. The pressure to make ends meet might also hold people back from taking risks in their careers, like going back to school or starting a new job, because they can't afford any disruption in their income. Over time, this financial stress can make it feel like getting ahead or achieving long-term goals is impossible. If high housing costs are making it difficult to manage your finances or achieve your goals, there are several ways to reduce expenses and ease the burden. These strategies can help you save money, improve your financial stability, and even create new opportunities to grow your wealth. 1. Avoid overspending on housing. Many people feel pressure to live in a big house or a trendy neighborhood, but this can lead to financial strain. Overspending on housing just to keep up with the Joneses often leaves little room for other necessities or long-term goals. Instead, focus on finding a home that meets your needs without stretching your budget too thin. Opting for a more affordable home or rental gives you financial breathing room, allowing you to save for emergencies, invest in your future, or simply enjoy life without constant money worries. 2. Explore alternative living arrangements. If traditional housing feels out of reach, consider alternative options. For instance, some people save money by sharing a home with family or roommates, splitting rent and utilities to reduce individual costs. Others explore options like co-living spaces, tiny homes, or manufactured housing, which often come at a much lower price than traditional homes or apartments. While these choices may require lifestyle adjustments, they can significantly lower your monthly housing expenses. 3. Negotiate or refinance your housing costs. If you own your home, refinancing your mortgage might help you secure a lower interest rate, which could reduce your monthly payments. This is especially beneficial if rates have dropped or your credit score has improved since you first took out your loan. For renters, it may be worth negotiating with your landlord when your lease is up. Some landlords are willing to lower rent or include additional amenities if you've been a reliable tenant. It never hurts to ask, and the potential savings could make a big difference. 4. Use housing costs to work toward financial goals. Instead of letting housing costs drain your finances, find ways to make them work in your favor. For example, if you're able to save money by downsizing or house hacking, use the extra cash to pay off high-interest debt, build an emergency fund, or start investing. Setting aside even small amounts regularly can help you create a more stable financial future over time. 5. Move to a smaller or more affordable home. One of the most straightforward ways to lower your housing expenses is by downsizing. This could mean moving into a smaller home, relocating to a less expensive area, or choosing a home that better fits your budget. While this might involve sacrifices, such as giving up extra space or living further away from work or amenities, the financial relief can be worth it. Downsizing doesn't just reduce your rent or mortgage. It can also cut related costs like utilities, maintenance, and property taxes, which tend to be higher for larger or more expensive properties. Over time, these savings can add up and free up money for other priorities, such as paying off debt, saving for retirement, or enjoying more flexibility in your lifestyle. 6. Turn your home into a source of income. If moving isn't an option, you can use your current home to generate extra income. This approach, often called house hacking, involves renting out unused parts of your home. For example, you could rent out a spare bedroom, a basement, or even a parking spot. If you have additional features like a pool or a large backyard, you can get creative by offering those spaces for events, photography sessions, or even as camping spots. Platforms like Airbnb also make it easier to rent out extra space for short-term stays. The income you earn from these efforts can offset your housing expenses, such as mortgage payments, utilities, or maintenance costs, and help relieve financial pressure. 7. Treat your home as a long-term investment. If you're planning to buy a home, it's important to think of it as more than just a place to live. A house can be a powerful financial asset if chosen wisely. Focus on buying in areas with strong growth potential, where property values are likely to rise over time. Alternatively, consider buying a home that needs minor renovations. Upgrading features like kitchens or bathrooms can significantly increase its value. By treating your home as an investment, you can potentially build equity and wealth in the long run, rather than simply seeing it as an expense. 8. Cut costs in other areas of your budget. While it's not always easy to reduce your housing costs, you can free up money by lowering expenses in other parts of your budget. Start by reviewing your spending habits and identifying areas where you can save. For example, cutting back on dining out, canceling unused subscriptions, or delaying luxury purchases can make a big difference over time. You can also shop smarter by looking for deals on groceries or switching to more affordable service providers for internet, phone, or insurance. The money you save in these areas can then be redirected toward housing costs, savings, or investments, making it easier to manage your overall budget. 9. Plan for the long term. Finally, consider your housing needs in the context of your long-term goals. What kind of home will you need in 5 or 10 years? Are you planning to grow your family, retire, or relocate? Making thoughtful decisions now can prevent financial stress later. For instance, buying a smaller home that you can afford comfortably may be a smarter choice than stretching your budget for a dream house that limits your financial flexibility. By taking these steps, you can reduce housing costs and create more room in your budget for other priorities. Whether it's saving for the future, paying down debt, or simply enjoying life with less financial stress, these strategies can help you move closer to your goals. High housing costs can feel overwhelming, but there are steps you can take to regain control and improve your financial situation. By making smart adjustments to your living arrangements and housing expenses, you can free up money for other important goals, like saving for the future or investing in opportunities that grow your wealth. One way to take charge is by downsizing to a smaller home or moving to a less expensive area. This can lower not only your rent or mortgage payments, but also other costs like utilities and maintenance. While it might mean giving up some space or making lifestyle changes, the long-term financial relief can be worth it. Finally, rethinking how you approach housing can make a big difference. Instead of focusing on the biggest or trendiest home, prioritize what you can comfortably afford. Choosing a more affordable living option frees up money that can be used to pay off debt, build an emergency fund, or invest in your future. Over time, these choices can transform your financial outlook and reduce the stress. By taking a step back and making intentional decisions about your housing, you can break free from the financial strain. These changes might not happen overnight, but they can help you build a more stable, secure, and worry-free future.